MACABESPEED coming at you. Another cool air gun vlog for you boys to chew on today. Gonna get into some interesting stuff, some cool time lapses, some interesting air gun tech, and hopefully some workshop stuff only seen here. First thing I want to kind of go ahead and address, like while I'm sitting here before I even get on the road here, is the extendo mags. Everybody in the comments section is hitting me up like they've somehow been skipped on the extendo mags, but it's just not the case, dude. What ended up happening is the very first person who was on the very first slot of the interested list finally got rolled out his magazines. And what ended up happening, he puts it on YouTube and everybody's like, oh, I got skipped. I was like, no, he's just literally at the front of the line. The list, the interested list that we generated May through current of last year, that's definitely going to be something that we absolutely 100% honor as far as people who are going to be in line versus newcomers to the game. I definitely want to make sure that we take care of all of the list names, all of the people who've supported us this far before we go ahead and we take any new sales. All right, that's all I want to say on that one. It's actually really cool right now. I'm on my way to get my haircut for the first time in 8 months, and honestly, I only see my haircut lady like twice a year, so I figure I better give her half a year's tips in one shot, right? Give her the old $25 tip for a $12 haircut and call it a day. It's only fair. She's the only person who cuts my hair good. Shout out to you. Cheers, gentlemen. It's the next morning. I'm really kind of enjoying these like one take style, no editing little vlogs that I've been putting together for you in addition to the review footage. I definitely don't ever want to stop reviewing stuff because I really do have a heart for showing you guys new products that may be either A, inaccessible in your area where you live if you're like a UK based viewer, or you know, something that you may be potentially having on your horizon as a consumer, but you don't want to go out and try everything before you buy it, right? I really enjoy those kinds of videos also. But these one-on-one kind of talking with you about different things behind the scenes as well as tech items like we're going to go ahead and get into today. I have a brand new S45 valve here, so it's going to be boding big things for this segment. Last sip of coffee for the morning. Let's go ahead and take a look at this S45 valve. Now, why are we looking at the S45 valve? S45 carbon fiber valve, AEA Terminator, 30 caliber, aluminum valve. What's the point? What's the point? Why am I showing you this? Because there's a lot of talk right now in the community, in the industry, about the AEA Super Terminators. And I'm pretty sure that they use a valve that's very similar to these S45 valves to go ahead and give it that super characteristic. If you go ahead and look at it right here, you'll see that the diameter on these two valves is 100% consistent. So these are the same exterior diameter. They also utilize the exact same fill probe and fill probe location in the receiver. Having seen all of these facts and seeing that the only operative difference between the two of them is the fact that there is a length difference between the shorter Terminator valve and the longer S45 valve you see here, I decided to go ahead for both of my Terminators and chop an S45 valve down, effectively turning both of them into Super Terminators. I never show this process because YouTube is real touchy about like what you show tools and guns together wise, right? They start to give you that red icon and then they threaten you with strikes, and all of a sudden this massive body of work over 12 years with 1,200 plus uploads is gone in a heartbeat. So I don't want to piss them off, as it were, but by the same token, I did want to bring you this valid tidbit here about the S45 valve being compatible with the Terminators. Effectively, what I did was I just simply shortened it, right? People are going to hate on me for this, but I'm going to be completely honest with how I did it. I chopped it off with an angle grinder. I got it really close, and then I started running it on a belt sander to go ahead and get it right where I needed it dimensionally, and then chamfer it. I am a GOB. I am definitely a good old boy, as it were, as far as like get her done style approaches to technical things. You guys see in the last vlog video, we did some ham-fisted machining, and it ended up very poorly for all involved. But we had a good learning experience, and it was a good snapshot about how I approach everything, so these valves were no different. In my guns right now, I have the chopped S45 valve. Now, as far as the 357 9mm version here, I definitely wanted to go ahead and give myself two things from the S45 valve. I wanted to go ahead and give myself the more reliable check valve style that exists on the S45 valve than on the Terminators. I have I was going to say I have a lot of friends. I have very few friends, but the friends I do have, a few of them, a good portion of them have these AEA terminators, and almost everybody who has a Terminator has had it leak from the fill port right here. That's going to be a major thing to look out for on these guns, and I don't know, you'll see if you had it side by side. The stoutness of the S45 check valve is just mechanically superior to the Terminator check valve itself. So that was one reason why I wanted to do this. Also, I wanted to do this because of the fact that I really like the ability to lighten the front end of this rifle and give it that carbon fiber tank. If I can kind of balance things out by having less of a counterweight up front, that's always going to be a good thing, right? As far as like usability and handling in the field. As with all my stuff, definitely there is a fiber optic iron sight here that you can utilize. It's been proven out to 100 yards to be able to utilize that specific iron sight on this package. So it's not just for looks, it's not just like, you know, tactical, it is actually functional, as it were. We have slowly been rolling out the Extendo magazines across multiple platforms this last month. It's been since May we've been in development for them, and honestly it's been a really hard road. But the one thing I didn't want to do was send stuff out that was going to break on people. If you've never held a squirted part in your hand, there is the possibility, if it is not squirted correctly, that the shit will be very brittle and absolutely a prop, as opposed to the functional items that we've currently gotten to. When you where is it? I don't know, somewhere. When you start to look at stuff like this, we've definitely gotten to the point where it is absolutely a functional item, and I do feel good about these. They are in people's hands at this point. I'm getting good feedback on them. And you know what? It's like I should have expected it, right? Because people just can't leave well enough alone, no matter what. I told them there was one approved ammunition for the S45 magazines. I get the first messages back. Hey, it's eating every slug I give it except this one. I'm like, oh my God, why can't you just leave it alone? Leave it alone. I developed these magazines around this slug. That's the human nature of it, you know, and I don't fault people because I myself would also try and put unorthodox slugs into a magazine that wasn't rated for them. That's the adventurer in all of us, I guess. I think the other thing you just can't overlook in a case like this is the balance that's just brought to the rifle by giving it the valve that probably should have come on the rifle from the factory. That suspect check valve was a problem for a lot of people and caused a lot of heartache as far as this brand is concerned. Getting it all put together with some better components has definitely improved how this is run for me. Alright guys, I'm not going to go ahead and waste your entire day here with this vlog, but if you like this vlog, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this, make sure you subscribe for more with that notifications button so you can stay current on the video as well as when these videos come out. If you really like this video, make sure you share it so somebody else can see it. I'll catch you boys in the next one.